What would you do if the partner you married for their ambition and drive suddenly decided to upend your entire life plan without your consent? In today's story, the protagonist's choice is a masterclass in how to handle it. My name is Alex. I'm 30, and 5 years ago, I married my high school sweetheart, Chloe. I fell in love with her because she was brilliant, ambitious, and driven. We were the nerdy couple who bonded over academics, and after college, we celebrated landing great jobs in the same city. Our life was a partnership, built on a foundation of mutual respect and shared goals. 3 years into our marriage, we had our beautiful baby, and the plan we had carefully laid out was to send our child to daycare after 6 months, allowing us both to return to the careers we loved. But when those 6 months were up, Chloe dropped a bomb that shattered our world. She refused to go back to work. Her argument was simple, and in her eyes, completely logical. If I just picked up more work, we could easily afford to live on a single income. She insisted she would be saving us money by being a stay-at-home mom, and that it was inherently better for our child. Chloe made this decision believing it was her right as a mother, completely unaware that this single, unilateral act would set in motion the very collapse of the life she claimed to be building for our child. I refused. Daycare is a normal, healthy part of life for millions of children. More than that, her proposal wasn't a plan for a family. It was a blueprint for my exhaustion. If I was the only one working, my hours would skyrocket. I would be perpetually tired, and the precious time I wanted to spend with my own child would evaporate. I wasn't even demanding daycare as the only solution. I told her, if you're scared about daycare, we can work different shifts. We can tag team it, so one of us is always home with the baby. I even suggested my mom could help, or we could find part-time care. Anything that would allow me to have quality time with my child, too. She refused every single option. Her response was chillingly dismissive. That doesn't work for me. As a mom, I need to be with my baby all the time. It was a declaration, not a discussion. A massive fight erupted, and in the end, she quit her job, unilaterally changing the entire nature of our relationship. The new dynamic was a nightmare. She took care of the baby during my work hours, which I respected. But then she declared it was my job to cook dinner on weekdays after my long shifts, and on the weekends, my only time off was to be filled with all the cooking, cleaning, and primary baby care because, as she put it, a stay-at-home mom deserves breaks too. This revealed Chloe's greatest flaw, her profound sense of entitlement, which blinded her to the fact that a partnership cannot be a dictatorship. It was a flaw that would ultimately seal her fate. I became a ghost in my own family. I was working over 80 hours a week at the office, only to come home to another 28 hours of housework. I was paying all the bills, fending for myself for food, washing dishes, doing laundry, and mowing the lawn, while my only time with my baby was squeezed into about 6 hours on my single day off. I was missing everything, the big moments, the small smiles, the fleeting phases of my child's first year. All the while, Chloe felt no sympathy. She saw it as my duty to provide and her right to stay home. She had turned me into an ATM and a domestic servant. I tried to communicate, to reason with her, time and time again, but I was met with the same unyielding wall. When I was certain she would never listen, I made the hardest decision of my life. I filed for divorce. I wasn't just divorcing my wife. I was fighting to have a relationship with my child. The court proceedings were my vindication. I proved that her decision to become a stay-at-home mom was entirely her own, something I never agreed to, and that her career break was only about a year long. The judge awarded 50-50 custody, with no alimony and no child support. As one person later commented online, I didn't divorce her because she was a SAHM. I divorced her because we couldn't communicate and make decisions together about our finances and childcare. After the divorce, I moved back in with my parents, who were thrilled to have their only grandchild around. When I'm at work, my mom lovingly cares for my baby, and my child is thriving, showered with affection. I finally got what I fought for, time with my child, memories, a real relationship instead of just being a provider. Meanwhile, Chloe is struggling. She's living paycheck to paycheck and, in a twist of bitter irony, had to enroll our child in a daycare to make ends meet. She was so blinded by her anger at me that she refused my mom's offer to provide the same free, loving childcare for her that I receive. She even had the audacity to demand I pay for the daycare, which I refused. Chloe and her friends call me an asshole for divorcing her and not providing support, but as another commenter wisely pointed out, Her own decisions put her exactly where she is right now, and that has nothing to do with me. She was presented with a fuck around and find out scenario, and now she is finding out. She had to get a job and put the baby in daycare anyway, the very outcome our divorce was meant to avoid. In her quest to have it all on her own terms, Chloe ultimately lost the very support system she took for granted, proving that taking from a partner without giving back eventually leaves you with nothing. I loved the woman I married, but I realized she didn't love me back. She just loved what I could provide. Taking away my time with my child was a betrayal I could never forgive, and I chose to be a present father over a resentful husband. This story is a powerful reminder that a true partnership is built on shared dreams and mutual sacrifices, not unilateral demands. When one person's needs eclipse the other's existence, the foundation of the relationship is doomed to crumble. So, I'll ask you, when one partner completely changes the agreed-upon terms of a relationship, where do you draw the line between compromise and self-preservation? Let us know your thoughts below.